Katrina's point of view. A year. An entire year. I have dreamt of this moment for 1 year. The moment I would finally get to live my dream. The man I love is coming back home. Coming back to me. I decided that it was time for us to finally become true mates, and that there would be no more secrets. Growing up, I always thought that all werewolves could do what my wolf could do, but then I realized that wasn't the case. We are special, Sage echoed. I'm going to tell him. I had them prepare all his favorite food because I'm sure he didn't have them when he was away. After checking everything in the kitchen, I made my way to my bedroom. I had asked some people to pick him up from the airport since he was arriving in an hour. I needed to get everything ready. I quickly took a shower. After I was done, I changed into a light blue silky floor-length dress and some sandals. I placed my hand on my marking spot as I smiled at myself. I promise when I come back to put my mark here. Oh, I'm going to make you the happiest woman in the world. Xavier promised a year ago, planting gentle kisses on my neck. I want every man and woman to know that you are mine and I'm yours, he whispered, kissing my marking spot. I can't believe it has been a year since he left on our wedding night to go to that war. The past year has been hard for me, but he brought good news, so all that didn't matter. I quickly applied some red lipstick before grabbing my phone. We are almost here, the text read on my phone as I smiled weakly at myself before rushing downstairs. I hurriedly made my way to the hall. I needed everyone to hide before we could surprise him. Making my way to the kitchen, I heard voices. Can't believe she is doing all this for him when he has come back with another woman. One familiar voice came as I felt my heart race. Why do you like concluding about things you have no idea about? Petra asked the Omega as I swallowed hard. But am I lying? I heard he found his mate during the battle for the Black Mountains. That's when he met her, she retorted. No emotion in her voice as I swallowed hard, shaking my head. He wouldn't do that to me. There was no way he would do that to me. He promised me. He promised my mother to always be there for me. He made the sacred vow. There was no way he came back with another woman. I heard loud cheers and howls outside the house as I swallowed hard. He was here. He had arrived. I was about to take a step towards the foyer but changed my mind. I was going to get the party started. I hurried and walked into the hall as everyone looked at me like I was crazy. I looked at Mrs. Blackwood, hoping she would tell me it was a lie, but she looked away. Why didn't I notice this before? People were not looking in my eyes earlier. Does that mean they all knew? They knew he was coming back with another woman? I cleared my throat as I went to the band. Play some soft jazz, I instructed before turning on my heel. My heart raced when I picked his scent as people stepped aside, giving him passage to come to where I was. Xavier, I whispered, a lump forming in my throat. There was no way he would do something so despicable to me. He was the reason I was still here. The man who held my hand when I lost my parents. He grew a beard and now had long hair, muscles rippling through the black leather jacket he wore. My heart raced as fast as he strode towards me. Xavier, I whispered before he took her hand. I turned to Mr. and Mrs. Blackwood, hoping they would say something, but they kept quiet, looking away. Everyone's eyes were on me, giving me pitiful looks before looking away. What is going on? I asked him as he came closer. Kitty, he started as my eyes welled up. I knew something was wrong. The way he called my name was not like before. There was no emotion to it. I could feel my chest pound as fast as I pursed my lips together. What is going on? Is it true about this woman? I heard you came with. I asked him. Bianca is my mate. I wanted. He was about to say as I burst out laughing. What? Your mate? What about me, Xavier? What am I? He goes on ignoring what I was just saying to him. She will be living with us. I plan on. Wait. I lifted my hand to stop him right there. He wasn't planning on getting her to live here with us. What do you think you are doing? We are married and mated. I stuttered, shaking my head. I'm sorry, Kat. I just couldn't. He stuttered, unable to tell me what the hell was going on with him. She needs to leave. There is no way she is staying in this pack, I demanded, pointing towards the door as he shook his head. I can't let her go. My wolf. She is my mate. I am your mate, Xavier. I snapped, but his eyes were cold. You promised to come back to me. You promised. I paused, wiping my tears away. I can't ask her to leave. We made it during the war. He added. Made it? Do you mean marked her? You let her mark you? I asked, tears streaming down my cheeks as realization hit me. This is why he didn't return on time. Did you know about this? I asked my in-laws, who stuttered as I smiled weakly, shaking my head. They knew. They knew this was what he was doing. How? I cried, my nails digging deep into my palms as I looked at the man who was standing before me. This was not my Xavier. He would never hurt me like this. He wouldn't do something that would bring me pain. I caught people in the corner of my eye walking out of the hall, leaving me with him. The Alpha King granted me his permission to mark her as a reward for the victory brought to our lands. He explained as I felt my knees go weak. Alpha King? He had to go through that route? I gasped for air, holding my chest as I looked at him. What about me? I asked him as he looked at his father and then back at me. You will continue as the Luna of this pack. I realize the last year you have done everything and Bianca will be Luna as well, he said as I blinked back my tears. A year. For a year I have taken care of this pack. A year I have taken care of his parents as my own, and this is what he pays me back with? I plan on holding the Luna ritual for her next week, he announced as tears streamed down my face, my eyes meeting the man's eyes who didn't seem like he cared about the kind of pain he was making me go through right now. Have you forgotten everything you promised me? I didn't know what true love was. I just said yes to you because I thought you would be suitable as Luna. The moment I met Bianca, I realized that she differed from all the others. She's the one for me, he said to me as I sniffled back, shaking my head. The one for you? I'm your mate and Luna, I asked him as I looked in his eyes, my face straight as he raised his eyebrows. I want to meet Bianca, I said to him as he looked into my eyes. My chest heaved as I looked into his eyes. What? He asked me. Yes, I want to meet her. Katrina's point of view, my mate Xavier, and his beautiful Gamma Bianca, are laughing and eating like they're on a first date. But the joke is on me. It was like hot wax was being poured into my ears just hearing how happy he was with her. He kisses her neck, whispering into her ears, and I try so much not to listen to it. He said, This is my future Luna, Bianca from the Black Fong. He introduced her as she bowed her head before Mrs. Blackwood, who beamed with a smile as she placed her hand on Bianca's shoulder. Xavier pulled her closer to him, his arm around her waist as he told his mother how she saved him, and how she fought so bravely during the battles they both went to. She had a pixie cut, with plumped-up lips and high cheekbones. She wore baggy jeans with a crop top and high-heeled boots. I watched him as he kissed her temples so gently, unable to keep his hands away from her, that he didn't have any shame. Mrs. Blackwood looked me up like I was some bad omen who just took away her happiness. The woman had just changed and acted like she didn't know me, like she had no idea who I was. Bianca said condescendingly, You are the one who wants to see me, are you not? She crossed her arms, staring me down with disrespect in her eyes. I have always heard that Gamma Bianca is a warrior, who is even more valiant than Alpha on the battlefield. So I wanted to ask you in person. I never thought that you would be ready to be someone's mistress, I said. Xavier held her by her waist, not caring that I could see him, not caring about how he promised to love me and make sure never to hurt me. Watch your tongue. They have already completed the mating mark under the blessing of the moon goddess. Bianca is his rightful mate. Mrs. Blackwood snapped. Bianca is the first Gamma. How can she be a mistress? She will also be Luna. You two are equal, she declared, Xavier not saying anything to me. I looked around me, and people were watching us. The elders are also in the living room. Were they also on his side? Mrs. Blackwood, who has always been kind towards me and always blessed me, was speaking to me like I was a stranger. I inhaled sharply, remembering that this part of me was something I wanted to hide. I asked them, Luna duet? Luna duet? Two legal wives? Which pack has ever had a precedent for this? I can't believe the nonsense I'm hearing. I try as much as possible not to be shocked by the nonsense being uttered by Mrs. Blackwood. I paid their medical bills using our money, my family's money, took them to their doctor's appointments. But this is how she repays me? Welcoming another woman as her son's mate. I felt my eyes brim with tears, but I can't break down. I won't let them have the satisfaction of seeing me broken. Since you have served as the Luna of our pack, you should be on Blackwood's side. Xavier and Bianca have both contributed greatly to this war, and from now on, husband and wife will be of one mind. I interrupted her. Husband and wife? Where does that leave me? I asked her, shifting my attention back to Xavier. Bianca chuckled softly when I asked Xavier about my future. Was she amused by all of this? Did she find it funny? Was that funny? What I despise most is housewives like you, Luna. And I disdain to get entangled with someone like you who meddles in household and internal affairs. I am a she-wolf, so if you know what's good for you, you'll accept this outcome, or else, she threatened, taking a step forward towards me that I could almost live with the fact that it was Xavier's mate. But she was threatening me, calling me names when she hasn't been in this pack for more than 24 hours. Gamma Bianca, don't forget, I'm from Snowpack. My father and my brothers died in battle on the southern battlefield 3 years ago. I am as well. Xavier, who had been silent all along, interrupted me. Those are them, not you. You have always been a noble lady raised from childhood to be a future Luna. You are not even comparable to Bianca in the slightest. All you know is how we'll find the next recipe for peanut butter cookies. He pulled her closer to him as she rested her head on his shoulder. Cookies? He always told me they were his favorites. That I chuckled softly, shaking my head. You were the one who proposed to me in my pack, and promised my mother that you would do right by me. Now you have betrayed that promise. So don't act like I'm the one standing in the way of you lovebirds. Bianca said arrogantly. So I'm the one who's interfering with your marriage, the homewrecker? Folding her arms as she looked at me, her brow raised. I can see her lip twitch as she glares at me. What will pack people say? I tried to reason with Xavier, hoping he would realize the mistake he was making right now. The person who has been taking care of your parents and the affairs of the pack for the 12 months is Luna Katrina, Alpha. How could you do this? Elder Alex tried to speak. Before he could finish, he was silenced by Xavier's alpha voice. How dare you tell me what to do? His aura radiated off him as I swallowed hard, my heart pounding so fast. Xavier was always respectful towards people, that he has never raised his voice at me. But today he was raising it. Xavier hurriedly explained to Bianca. I made it clear to her yesterday. Back then, I didn't understand love, so she tricked me into becoming mates. It wasn't until I met you that I realized you were my true mate. He lifted his chin, looking deep into her eyes, while his knuckles gently stroked her cheeks. He brought his forehead to hers, rubbing their noses together. My mouth fell open as I looked into his eyes. I gulped the lump that formed in my mouth, trying not to lose it. Xavier looked at me and said, Bianca and I never wanted to hurt you. You will remain Luna Katrina. Since we will be spending a lot of time together on the battlefield, you can raise our children, which will strengthen your position, he said, holding her hand as she tilted her head, resting it on his shoulder, while her other hand rested on his chest. That I felt my blood boil as I looked into his eyes. He was joking. There was no way he was speaking to me right now. That I clenched my fists as I looked into his eyes. You want me to raise your children? I asked him, and he gave me an affirmative nod. That I felt knots in my stomach as I glanced at Mrs. Blackwood, who was reluctantly nodding her head. How can they shamelessly ask me to be their free surrogate after what they did to me? Just thinking about it makes me sick. Katrina's point of view surrogacy? You are asking me to have your children for you. I asked, a bitter taste in my mouth just asking those questions. Did I feel nauseous just thinking about what Xavier was subjecting me to? Xavier gently stroked Bianca's face while reassuring her that everything was fine. It's okay, baby. I got this. Is this what a mate bond does to someone? Do they lose their mind? I was once the woman he made those promises to. Those whispers. And now he was asking me to be his surrogate. If you want your child, I can have a son or daughter with you. But after that, I won't touch you, he remarked, turning to look at me as I closed my eyes, chuckling softly. How does he expect me to sleep with him when he has been with her? How does that even make sense? I clenched my fists, trying to calm myself down. When I turned to Bianca, I asked, Bianca, do you agree with that? I'm not jealous. The one who is not loved is the most pitiful. Xavier and I are just looking out for you. If you have your baby, you will have something to rely on in the future. As for whether he'll touch you after you're pregnant, I couldn't care less since I have his heart, she said, looking in Xavier's eyes while her lips turned up in a smile, not even sparing me a glance as she said that, her hand behind his neck while gently playing with his hair. Don't you worry, I will never touch her again once there is a baby. I just need her to raise my heirs, he assured her while looking deep into her eyes, a smile tugging up her lips. Bianca pouts. No need to promise. I trust you. I'm not a petty person. You just raise a child for them in peace, so that they can also go to the battlefield to build their careers without any worries. Mrs. Blackwood said to me, agreeing with the stupid thing they were talking about. Is this the kind of woman she has always been? My eyes roam all over her face. In your eyes, I just have to rely on the Alpha's child to remain in the world, don't I? You think there's nothing else I can do? Is that all you think I'm good for? I asked them. Bianca snickers, shrugging her shoulders. This has been the best arrangement for someone who has contributed nothing like you. Don't be ungrateful. Bianca was the one to respond. Contribute nothing? I made this pack into what it is. A year without their Alpha. Bianca has already given up her child for you to raise. She's the one who's upset. Why isn't it enough for you? Xavier asked me, finally being able to look at me raising her child. He wanted me to be their surrogacy? While she does what? Play Romeo and Juliet. I turned this pack around. Using my family fortune and connections, I made this pack into what it is now. Then reject me and annul this marriage. I demanded. It's done. It's useless even if you threaten with rejection. We traded our war honors to Alpha King for this reward, and no one can stop it, Bianca said, looking at Xavier who didn't say anything to me. It's your problem for the two of you to package cheating as true mate, but why do you have to be awful to Luna Katrina? This is abusing. Thelma, the housekeeper who has been my help and advisor, spoke up. How dare you and Omega slander me in front of me? Bianca growled, trying to walk towards her, her eyes flickering between different colors, her irritation so evident on her face. Even I and Omega, no shame. You're the gamma of a prestige pack, and you're hooking up with someone else's mate in the middle of a war, and trying to get another woman to have your child? Have some shame, Thelma growled, walking up towards me as I closed my eyes. She stood by my side like she has done ever since I came to this pack. Unable to utter words to her because this was not how I imagined the day I saw Xavier would go, I just lowered my gaze to the ground. How dare you speak to my mate like that? He growled, using his alpha voice to bring Thelma to her knees, as she bowed her head in submission to him, unable to control what was happening to her. How dare you think you can talk to my mate when I'm here? He asked her as she held her stomach. Xavier, stop. You are hurting her. I shouted, but my pleas fell on deaf ears. Look at me. He growled as she looked up at him, trying to fight her will to submit, but she was only hurting herself. He was her alpha and she was just a gamma. I'm your alpha and you will respect me, he growled before she fell to the ground. Thelma, I shouted, rushing to her side as he continued to torture her, using his authority as alpha, blood coming out of her nose and mouth. My heart pounded as hard as I pulled her close to me. Oh my God, Thelma. I grabbed her face, making her look at me as she shook her head, trying to stay strong. How are you doing, Luna, when you can't even manage Omega? He asked me before finally letting go of her. He looked at me, disgust on his face as I took deep breaths, trying to calm myself. I got up to my feet, rushing towards him before slapping him across the face. Who do you think you are to lay a finger on my people? I growled as he gasped, looking into my eyes as I clenched my jaws. I heard gasps and murmurs fill the room. I was screwed, but I didn't care.